So tell us a bit about how you got Cura Seasoning started.
It all started during lockdown. I was always tingling and playing around with koji at Cirrus. At the time, with my knowledge, I was very limited to what I could do with it, so we're just doing shit koji. But I was always fascinated by it, but didn't really understand it. But then once I had all that free time, I started like diving in, reading all the books. It just grew into this sort of crazy fascination of being super impressed with what this fungus can actually do, you know?
One of your first experiences with fermenting was at Mark.
So essentially, I was first introduced to it at Mark. They used to do fermented mushrooms and this fermented chickpea puree. And like, it's quite funny because at first I was like, man, this is fucking gross. But I guess my palate wasn't trained enough back then, or wasn't, it's all quite new to me. So I just fully didn't get all the nuances that are done with fermented food. But, it was quite on trend at that stage as well. And, I felt like a lot of people were sort of just fermenting things, or they have fermented on the menu for the sake of having fermenting. But I'm not saying, I'm not saying that's what Mark did, but I think just at that time of year, Noma was sort of starting to blow up, or they were blowing up, and, they were massively on the foraging and the fermenting. So I felt like it just sort of trickled to the rest of the world. And all of a sudden you sort of start seeing people fermented this, fermented that on their menus.
So I noticed now with Cura, which is something that you can buy retail or wholesale, you've got things like roast chicken garum, you've got the mushroom shio as well.
Right. So for the retail range, there's 6 items, sorry. So we have a mushroom shio, a shio koji, and the roast chicken garum. The roast chicken garum by far is like the most popular. People go bonkers for that. And then we have 3 pastes, or 2 pastes and a salt. So we have a black garlic paste and tomato paste. And then like an umami seasoning, which is just like your secret hack in the kitchen. And you can buy these online at curaseasonings.com. That's right, yes. Don't forget.
So tell us where we are.
All right, so this is basically a little shared space between Cura and Sixpenny. I do a lot of my production here in terms of bottling and stuff. I mean, I produce most of it at Sixpenny, but all the straining, some of the bottling, and all the storage gets done here.
Great.
Between Cura and Sixpenny. So come on through and I'll show you around.
Amazing.
So the place is a bit of a work zone at the moment. There's 3 sort of separate parts to this block of land. Obviously downstairs is where, spoiler alert, is where the new restaurant's going to be.
Oh, how exciting.
Upstairs is just residential at the moment, and then to the left here is a studio where we have all the storage. These are my little fridges, my personal fridges. No chefs are allowed to come in or out of these. So it's obviously, I mean, listen, it's just, these are just chock full of different types of garums, ferments. So, it's just basically having a cold larder of all these fermented products. Sometimes I'll make things and I'll just come in this fridge. But essentially this is great. Like, obviously I have a storage thing for Cura, but also not only that, like, if I'm trying to come up with a dish and like, sort of want to get inspired by some ingredients, I'll just come over here and like say, look, see what I've got. And then that sort of can turn my way towards the dishes. Because people obviously ask, like, how do you sort of prepare yourself, or how do you like, come to terms with like being so far ahead?
Totally.
And it's more of a fact of like, you just create these products and pastes, have them on hand. I don't, like, 9 times out of 10, I don't really know how they're going to turn out, especially if it's something new that I haven't made before, and it's like something a bit more experimental. So I just sort of make it, I'll taste it, and like, oh fuck, that's actually pretty good. Put it away, and then it's just on the back burner. And then when I'm coming up with a dish or a snack or something like that, I'm like, oh yeah, I've got that, and then that's how it sort of evolves. Very, very rarely I'll be like, okay, I want to do this dish with this certain paste. And then make that paste, and then 8 months time I'll create that dish. That doesn't sort of happen like that, just because the process is just too long.
Totally. So I'm kind of curious, like, how sometimes a chef might think of how they want to plate a dish, and then reverse engineer what they're going to use,
Yes.
Do you sometimes do that with Cura Seasonings?
100%. So like, like I was mentioning before, for example, I have a great relationship with my veg supplier. So he'll call me, hey Tones, I got like fucking a box of celiacs that I need to get rid of. So he'll call me up and say, do you want these for cheap? I'll take them. I'll turn it into like a celiac miso, celiac paste.
Sick.
Again, and they'll just sit in the fridge. And then come next winter, I'm like, all right, celiacs come to season. I've got this celiac paste to use. And then the dish will sort of revolve around that celiac paste, using celiacs, and then sort of go from there.
That's sick. So tell me a bit more about where we can find Cura Seasonings, what's going to be happening. I know you do events, for example, at Carriage Works and so forth. Yeah. How else can people maybe find you or keep in contact and follow Cura Seasonings?
Listen, the best way would be online. Yep. curaseasonings.com.
Yep.
.au has all the information. There's obviously the email, info@curaseasonings.com. Just email me directly or just hit me up on Instagram if you want to sort of get to know about the products. I can send you a product list.
Sure.
But yeah, listen, I am going through a bit of an exciting rebrand at the moment.
Very good.
Like I mentioned to you earlier, this all sort of was like a lockdown little project. But now I've been doing it for about 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
So, there's a bit of money built up in the bank and I'm sort of going to reinvest into the business, sort of make it a little bit more plush.
Yeah.
And yeah, just sort of like try to elevate things as much as I can because I really sort of want this to grow. And it has been slowly growing, which is at a perfect pace because it's a very hard thing to manage, as you can imagine. I've run out of the roast chicken garum, the parmesan garum, the smoked eel garum, and the shellfish garum.
Yeah.
Just because I wasn't really sure how it was going to be perceived and how popular they were going to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, once people once they had a taste, they were sort of hooked, and they just went like that. So I went hard this time, and I've got loads of product fermenting, and then hopefully I can sort of stay ahead.
Yeah, great. So all that's down there is construction, right? So
yeah,
just here.
So I can show you inside. So in here.
Yep.
This is where everything is. So.
Cheers.
Basically, cappuccino machine. So this is for the wine bar downstairs, but it's just our storage here now.
Yeah, great.
We do use bits and bobs for it at Sixpenny, but it's predominantly going to be for the wine bar, which we're just going to sort of do simple ice creams and cakes. But essentially, man, all these buckets here, these are all garums. Over here, I've got all my parmesan garums. I mean,
wow.
You're more than welcome to have a sniff for a taste.
Yeah,
I mean, they are pretty full on. They are pretty stinky. But I mean,
that would be great for pasta, wouldn't it?
Yeah. All my Italian customers absolutely love these ones just because, I mean, it goes without saying. You add a bit of this into like a cacio e pepe or something like that. It's impressive.
What's been the most interesting thing you've done that you didn't think would work out?
I would say probably... I want to say most interesting, but I'd say my most favourite would be the roast chicken.
Yeah.
Sorry, I mean the parmesan rind and the smoked eel.
Yeah.
Listen, the smoked eel was a bit hesitant of whether it was going to work or not, but I have sort of figured out a way or streamlined it a bit to sort of get it like nice and consistent. So basically, I mean, you can sort of see I'm sort of half doing it now. So this is a batch of eel garum. This is only a couple of weeks old, so it's not that old. So you can sort of see compared to the other one, all the grains are still quite big. The soybeans aren't broken down yet, but these will eventually turn into like a sludge or a gross looking porridge basically.
Yeah.
But you can smell it, and it's amazing. It's really intense. Oh my God. So the problem that I found with this one, early on you get like really intense smoky fishiness. That's absolutely delicious. Almost like a bit of quite meaty flavour as well. You'd almost think it's like a meat garum. So you get really lovely smoky fish flavours at the start, but then as it ferments, especially towards the later end, you want it to ferment for longer to get that sort of deep umami.
Yeah.
But you lose all the nuances particularly of the smoke and the eel itself.
Totally.
So you just sort of get this like very lightly smoked eel garum, which is still delicious on its own. But to intensify it, what I've developed is sort of get some more trimmings and then ferment this for a year as they are, and then I infuse the past garum for about 1 to 2 months in some more smoked eel bones.
Oh wow!
And then it lives in the fridge. So it's like a second stage of fermentation. This really refreshes the garum, and you get this sort of massive, intense smoked eel flavour. And by far, this is one of the best ones I reckon. That and the roast chicken.
So this is just strained for this, is what you're saying?
No, so this has been once this is ready, it gets strained and filtered.
Yeah.
Which is sort of this dark liquid.
Yeah, gotcha.
And then I infuse it more with some smoked bone with the bones.
Wow. Yeah,
and the flesh there. So it's just a matter of obviously it's hard because things take time.
I know way.
So to stay ahead, you got to think, a year and a half of it in advance of what you're doing. You have no real idea of how much you're going to sell.
Yeah.
And then obviously because you're limited by space, you really need to be conservative about how much you're making because you don't really want to make all this product and then have nowhere to put it because it all needs to be kept refrigerated.
Fully.
So it's like a bit of my downside is the fact that everything is unpasteurized.
Yeah.
But I'm a very deep believer that the pasteurization kind of taints with the flavors. You lose all these subtle nuances that I think, you know, really create these, what makes these garums special is the fact that there's all these sort of minute details and like these super delicate sauces that are like full of umami, and it's absolutely delicious.
What are going to be some of the new products that guests can find or wholesale or for home that will be coming up shortly?
So, well, listen, the smoked eel, the parmesan rind, and the shellfish garum as well. These are all going to be strained at the end of this year.
Yeah, great.
So these are all going to be back in stock. I mean, sort of seeds, this one here, this one's made with mussels, mussel juice, roasted marron shells, surplus from Sixpenny. We've got scallops, prawns, and a white fish stock basically is the base sauce, the base stock. But again, I made plenty of these. As you can sort of see, there's all buckets behind here as well.
Yeah.
I actually calculated each bucket's about 25. There's over about a ton worth of garums and stuff in here.
Fucking hell. So what are some things you'd recommend for people to do with them? So when these come to sale for people, what are some things that maybe people could do at home? So
I mentioned smoked eel garum. Listen, I'll just give examples of what we sort of do at work. I mean, listen, these are actually only available wholesale.
Okay, great. All of these? Or just the eel garum?
Smoked eel garum, shellfish garum, and the parmesan rind garum.
Sure, great.
Yeah, just more so I feel like they're a bit more chefy.
Yeah,
one of the biggest challenges I had with doing Cura Seasonings retail was sort of product knowledge and, you know, telling people or getting people to understand how to use koji and first of all, what koji is.
Yeah, I get
how to use koji. Because, you know, when I do the markets, people are really interested by it, but they're like, first question I ask, like, how do I use it?
Yeah.
And then I'll give it, for me, it's just like, oh man, just like how you use fucking soy sauce. So I don't know, like, I mean, it's obviously for me, it's quite basic or quite simple. But people sort of, you know, they see mushroom soy or chicken garum.
Sure.
They're very unsure, but you know, it's chicken garum. Think of fish sauce, but with roasted chicken.
Yeah,
you know, that's what I sort of tell them. But all these liquid garums are very easy to use in terms of, again, how you use them as soy sauce seasoning.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you want to do them in stir fries or, you know, season like a soup, we use a smoked eel garum like in a butter sauce currently at Sixpenny, which is absolutely delicious with coral trout.
Yeah.
Parmesan rind garum, again, like it goes without saying with just like any sort of pasta dish or, I want to say a boring way to use them, but it's a very clever way in the fact that I think, so for example, if I'm doing a parmesan sauce, I'll season it with parmesan garum, or if I'm making a celeriac sauce, I've got a celeriac miso that I use, and I'll season them all with their own flavors.
Yeah.
And what this does is it really just amplifies the flavor of that vegetable or the protein or whatever you're doing, but without actually knowing why.
Yeah, right.
So it's not like adding a white soy to a parmesan sauce. It would taste like a delicious parmesan sauce, but if you add parmesan to parmesan sauce, it just really amplifies the parmesan, makes it absolutely delicious, but you can't taste or pinpoint where that's coming from.
Yeah,
which is sort of what I really like.
Interesting. So is this the koji chamber here?
Yes, koji chamber right here. So I've currently got a batch of koji going right now. So this is got probably about 6 more hours to go. It's generally a 48-hour process. So this can sort of max out. You get about 9 trays in here, which in total is about 12 kilos of cooked grain. Down below I have a humidifier. There's a little space heater and I have 2 fans to circulate air. And then to the right here, I have all the controls which basically control the humidifier and the temperature setting. Basically how it works is, you know, you set it to 80 or 30 degrees.
Yeah.
If it's at 26 degrees, the heater turns on. Once it hits 30 degrees, it switches off, the heater turns off, and that's how it sort of maintains the temperature. You have the temperature probe inside, quite important to have it inside the koji, because the koji generates its own heat. So if you just have it on as the chamber temperature, your koji will overcook pretty much.
Wow.
Once it hits over 40 degrees, and you'd be so surprised at how much heat it generates. So I'll pull out a tray just for you to have a look at. So again, this has probably been about the 40-hour mark. So we'll definitely have some really nice mycelium growth here, some nice matting.
Oh wow. 40 hours.
Yeah, this is about the 40-hour stage. Koji, the koji perfume is really pungent in the first maybe 12 to 24 hours.
Yeah.
If you were to walk in here 24 hours ago, I mean, you'd be like getting punched in the face with the smell of this. So floral, fruity. It's just really pleasant, but you can't quite put your finger on what the smell is. But essentially what I'm looking for here, I mean, generally I pull this out when you start seeing signs of sporulation. So, I mean, this hasn't happened yet because it's still quite early, but you start getting to see, you can probably sort of see just a little bit here and here. There's this faintest bit of green fuzz that's going to occur. So to me, that's a sign of this is very close to pull out. I'll say I'll probably pull this out in the next 2 hours.
Yeah, right. So this is the Aspergillus oryza? Is
this one? This is Aspergillus oryza, yeah. So there's a few strains that you use.
Yeah.
The main three is orze, the other one is soje, and the last one is Lutchison, which is basically, the Lutchison produces citric acid. Yeah. So I use that at Sixpenny to create part of our non-alcoholic pairings because you get this sort of beautiful, sweet but sour sort of liquid.
Yeah, totally.
The Aspergillus soje, that's more for like soy sauce production.
Oh, okay,
so that fungus in itself has high protease enzymes.
Yeah.
So basically what it does is this one here I used soje. Listen, I predominantly use the orze just because that's the most common middle ground one. Mm-hmm. It's quite labor intensive work as well, so
how many times you check in a day?
Yeah, so that's a good question. Basically these all get stirred once a week.
Okay.
So I have a sort of schedule of every Wednesday I'll stir the parmesan, every Thursday I'll do all the roast chicken and the smoked eel or whatever it is.
Totally.
But leading up to it, so when I first produce something, it's like a baby. Think of it as a baby, right?
Yeah,
so when a baby is a newborn, like they require a lot of attention at the start.
Yeah.
It's the same with the ferments and the garums. So when these are first made, basically, depending on the time of year, if it's summer, I might attend to it twice a day.
Yeah.
Just give it a stir, make sure that everything's going right. Essentially what you're trying to do by stirring it, you're introducing oxygen and you're promoting all the right bacteria to grow. If you were just to leave it, pretty much all the unwanted bacteria that's going to populate and dominate, and that's what you don't want, because then essentially you're going to end up with a sauce that's going to taste pretty funky or not very pleasant, or at worst case scenario, like spoil it and go back and throw it off. So it's quite important that in the first maybe 2 to 3 months of a garum's life or soy sauce life that you're quite attentive. So generally my schedule is, for the first maybe week or two, I'd stir it twice or once a day, depending on how hot it is. If it's winter, once a day is fine. And then basically the next month I'll go to like maybe 3 or 4 times a week.
Yeah.
And then go down every second day.
Wow.
And then it comes down to 1 day a week after about 6 months.
Yeah, yeah.
It's very heavy, like 25 kilo buckets. Have my trusty paddle here. And you just sort of gently stir it around. Give everything a good mix. Periodically, once a month I'll sort of taste it. Just make sure that everything's, A-okay.
Yeah.
And that I'm sort of happy with the flavor. So this is the press that I use to press all the garums and stuff like that.
Me dead.
Listen, I know it's quite small to the amount that goes here, but I have a sort of system where I strain through just gastro trays.
Yeah, yeah.
Just using like muslin cloths and stuff like that.
Fully.
And then once I get all the pulp, the dry pulp, then I transfer it to the press.
Yeah.
And then just using a jack, just press it just to get
good.
Every last drop. And it's quite funny because I wasn't doing this at the start.
Yeah.
I was just using gastro trays to press, and then I used this, and like from one bucket, I got an extra like litre and a half out of like, you fucking, that's like that's like $150 for the chicken garum.
Yeah, yeah.
And then this is like a little aging fridge.
Yeah.
Well, we have the dry ager. Was playing around with a bit of charcuterie at the start, doing some guanciale and stuff, but now it's just become extra fridge space because you can never have enough fridge. So there's some black garlic I've made. Just for the next batch of black garlic miso.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm making more tomato miso this summer.
Yeah.
Essentially, listen, man, like I try to make big batches at a time, but I only have 2 ovens I can dehydrate tomatoes in.
Totally.
So just to put it into perspective, 40 kilos of tomatoes would dehydrate into, what's 1/8? You probably get about maybe 4 to 5 kilos.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, for me to make like a 50 kilo batch, I have to do this drying process over the span of like 2 months.
Yeah, totally.
So my plan is just to do this throughout summer, and then like maybe come January, February, when I've got enough semi-dried tomatoes, I'll make a big batch of miso. And that's the same with the black garlic. Once those bananas come out, I'm going to get another batch of black garlic on and then just make big batches at a time, just because it's too hard just doing small batches, and I haven't really got the facility or the space to, do big batches at a time.
Yeah, right.
And then just some more, we've got some like processed black bananas, leftover black banana skins, which we use to make a stock. I have made a vinegar out of these as well. So listen, again, my ethos as well, like I don't really like things going to waste. Lots of scrap, like I mentioned before, my veg supplier, if he's got stuff that's going bad or wants to move, like for example, this year, the asparagus season, he had asparagus, which was like starting to turn like forgotten stock. He goes, hey mate, do you want this? Gave me like 10 kilos of white asparagus, which, cost price to that, if it was in primo condition, would be, over $700-800. And he goes, here you go mate, like just play around with it, make some garums and fermented, which I've got, miso and a garum happening down at Sixpenny of those. Don't know how they'll turn out. I mean, would I drop $800 to experiment with that? Fucking most definitely not.
Yeah.
But yeah, just sort of gonna see how they're going. I'm hoping they're gonna turn out all right.
Wow.
So far, so good. But we'll have to wait and see.
Fucking fantastic, Aaron. That's very exciting. That's great. I love it. It's nice to be able to do something unique and different. And
I know. I mean, I love. This is where I go to cry when I have a horrible service. No, it's great. Like in all honesty though, like if I'm having a bad day, I'm like fuck, I just get out the kitchen for a little bit. I'll come over here. Just stir some things. It really like creates this zen, calms me. And I mean, this is my happy place. I love it. I really do. And like, if I was to one day burn out or fucking hate being a chef, I would definitely like focus on this as a full scale business. Because this is like my pride and joy. I absolutely love doing this.
Good. I'm glad to hear it, my friend. Thank you so much for this show.
No worries, man.
This is crazy. So much going on. In such a small space, so much going on.
I know.
Yeah.
But ideally the end goal is to sort of be upscale for sure, and like, go nationwide and sell as much as I can.
Take over the world.
Take over the world and get everyone feeling my passion and love, the same passion and love that I have for koji.
Cura Seasonings, huh? How exciting. Well, fucking thank you, man. I appreciate it.
No worries.
Let's head on back.
So essentially what we're aiming for here is a simple little suburban restaurant that people can come. We're going to call it a wine bar for the fact that we want people to feel comfortable enough to be able to come in, sit down, have a glass of wine and not commit to a full meal.
Yeah.
There was also the thought process of the fact that, we obviously have people coming to Sixpenny either early, needing somewhere to, offering them somewhere to have a drink before their meal.
Fully.
Or post-meal, they ask, where can we go to have a nightcap?
Yeah.
And, we always obviously direct them towards Newtown because it's the closest suburb, but, it would be so nice to keep them local.
Totally.
And keep the business within ourselves.
Exactly.
Make a bit more cash. But listen, Dan has had an idea of opening another restaurant for many years now. I know he was planning on stuff with Aaron prior to me starting.
Totally.
But we first looked at this site about 3.5. Yeah, it's probably about 3.5 years ago.
Yeah.
It was not long after I first started. So we first looked at it, but there's just been a lot of setbacks.
Fully.
It's a heritage listed building. So, trying to get some approvals and things like that has just been a bit of a nightmare. But lease is finally signed. Obviously, you can see construction work's done, grease traps going in, building the range hoods as we speak. So by the start of next year, I think we can go in and start fitting it out. So we're looking
start of next year. That's crazy.
Start of next year. So we're looking at opening hopefully early Feb.
Yep.
I'm going to say. I mean, but you never know how these things go.
Totally.
But it's quite funny because this construction side of things always feel like they take so long, but when it comes to the fit out, they happen quite fast.
Totally.
But we're on top of it. We've basically we've worked with the designer already, so all the design work's done. We've already started fabricating all the shop fitting and stuff like that. The tiles are getting delivered for the kitchen next week. So we're doing as much as we can before we can actually physically get in there and start fitting it out.
Fully.
So when it does happen and they hand over and finish their installing the grease trap and the range hoods, we can go in and start straight away. So hopefully that's a short process. But yeah, listen, again, the food's going to be very simple, European style.
Yeah.
We want to have just a list of, or the menu's going to just be like a small list of dishes, classic wine bar layout, snacks, smaller items into your larger items with a few sides. And, you know, we want to keep a strong focus on the fermentation. Obviously, we're going to impart a lot of what we do here over there, but it's just sort of not going to be so up in your face. Like here we talk about it a lot, you know, it's quite a strong focus. There, it's going to be in the dishes, but probably not so much in terms of, you know, blasting the customers, fermented this, fermented that. Because,
fully.
Yeah, we just want the food to taste delicious, and that's the main thing.
Yeah. Very exciting. How good's that, huh? So the new name of the restaurant that's going to be opening up in early next year.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
It's going to be